Hi everyone, Danielle here. I'm doing a solo playthrough of Hunter x Hunter, the 287th exams. So I have this almost set up and ready to go. I have everything I need placed out. I will be using Gon as my player. I have my acrylic standee here, which I will be placing just like this so that you could clearly see the standee. And then I've grabbed the skill cards here. I am going to place them in ascending order, starting with 2, because they unlock starting with the number of skills you have or experience you have available to unlock these cards. I have some reminder cards, and feel free to pause so that you could really dig into these iconography and what they mean. And then I have the tokens set out. I have a final exam deck, enemy deck. This is kind of like the harder cards, I'd say. And then the enemy deck, these are the starting cards already shuffled in here. And then we have an examiner deck. So to start, let me finish setting up Gone. I will be grabbing 3 green dice and 2 purple dice out of the dice bag. Let's grab those. 2. And 1 more green. Okay. So I have the 2 purples, 3 green, and 1 red. And just so you know, there are like specific terminology for the colors of the dice. So the green is strength, the purple is insight, and the red is spirit. So I'm probably just going to refer to them as the colors at this point. And then this icon actually means you draw 1 die at random. So I'll go ahead and just draw that. See what we get is another purple die. And then we get to decide to place 1 dice on one of these abilities on our dashboard. So Gon's ability is +1 to reflex tokens of this type. When you roll this die, give a die of the same type +1 for each die in your dashboard slots. Once per turn, you may increase the result of any player's die for each of these types by 1. All right, so I think I'll put a green die on this one. When you roll this die, give a die of the same type +1 for each die in your dashboard slots. Okay. And the rest of the dice will be here in our available dice area. We will reveal 1 plus the amount of players for the enemy deck. And then we'll draw 1 examiner deck card here. So this one means that all dice get a +1 value to them for every wound that you've taken. That's what that red cube is. And also this round, I cannot use any reflex tokens. Reflex tokens are these. These 3 tokens will be able to bump up that colored die by 1 for each token. And then we have these reroll tokens that we'll be able to gain throughout the game as well to reroll a die. And these are the wound cubes that you'll be placing here whenever you need to retrieve all your dice after you've used them all. So let's just go over how this works. So this is an enemy card that we will be placing one of our figures on it, and then that will be the challenge we are attempting when we roll our dice. So basically, this challenge requires me to roll dice that have values that total up to these numbers. And when it's white, it could be any colored dice that can do that. This is the amount of experience points that I would get if I eliminate the card. So only this middle row of this challenge will allow me to eliminate the card and gain that 1 experience that can go towards possibly gaining these skills as I play the game. I'll go through the rewards as I gain them, but I do want to point out that there's a 1 player type of icon here. So you'll only include these cards in the enemy deck. All right, so let's start the round. I'm going to choose one of these enemies, and I think it's my best interest to go here. And so I'm going to roll any amount of dice I would like to roll for my available dice. I think just for this one, I'll just roll one of my purple dice. Just so you know, the red die is translucent, and that kind of just gives you an indication that this die is pretty different from the others. And this one actually can stand this. Excuse me. Apologies. I am currently experiencing a cold, so please bear with me. My voice is definitely not usually this low. But yeah, I'm going to roll 1 die and hopefully get at least a 4 so I could gain experience point. All right. I got that 4 that I needed. This examiner card probably won't really impact me because I don't have any wounds. I also don't have any reflex tokens yet. I'm actually going to gain a reroll token. And then I get to eliminate this card and gain it as experience. So I'll put it up here to track my experience. And then I'll grab one card from the extra enemy deck cards, put it in the discard pile, and we also discard the other card that was out. And we continue playing the game. Ooh, okay. So I will choose. They're kind of the same. It doesn't really matter. All right, I'll just choose the purple. I'll roll one purple die. A 2. That's all I got. That's fine. I think that works. So we'll see. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and get a experience point. And then this means you damage a die, so I'll just go ahead and damage a green die. Now I have 2 experience points. So now this skill card is active. Whenever I roll a 6, I can put a die from my pool onto an empty dashboard ability. Normally, you'd only be able to put a die on a empty dashboard ability when the enemy deck is empty and you kind of reset. All right, the last 2 cards of this. Let's see. I think I'll grab this, or I'll try to. I will roll a 4, and then at least this will be able to bump it up by 1. A 3 plus 1 is 4. Perfect. So now we'll get one of each of these. Let's see. I guess I'll grab one of each. And then a re-roll token. I don't get to gain this as experience though. Okay. So that is the end of the first round. So I'll go ahead and shuffle this up. Okay. Then we'll draw a new examiner deck card. All right, so this one means that if I roll a 6 or a 1, I have to re-roll the die one more time. All right, so let's see what we have here. I have 2 dice left. And this time I could use reflex tokens. I think I'll go for this one. I would like to roll at least a 4. A 1. Oh man. Um well, the examiner deck card actually makes me re-roll it, so let's re-roll. It's a 6. So I could do this actually. I think I will. I'll get 3 of these tokens and then 2 of any choice. I'll get 1 of each of the others. Okay. 1 die left, and then I'm gonna have to take a wound to get more. I'll go here, and then yeah, let's roll. Oh, let's roll out of that. A 2, it didn't really matter. I could do at most a 3, 4. Not too helpful here. I'll just do 1 more so I can at least get a token, which is 1 of these. I don't really need to do the gaining of anything because I guess fortunately I don't have any wounds. Okay. So now that I have no dice left, I'm forced to take a wound and then something happens here. I'll go ahead and put my wound on here and lose 2 of my reflex tokens. And then I regain all my dice, and at this time I could also place a die on my dashboard, and I think I'll put a purple die here. +1 to reflex tokens of this type, which is going to be insight, I think. All right, so I will go here, roll a green die. A 5. And then because I rolled a green die and I have this ability, it's really a 6. So I get to take this card and gain 2 of the tokens. And I have 3 experience right now. All right. This comes in. All right. And then now We will just draw a new one for the next round, and we'll shuffle these cards up. Okay. I will place this here, and I'm going to roll a purple die. Oh wait, let's figure out what this one means. So this one basically means when you use a reroll token, you have to reroll all your dice. Normally you just reroll one die. But yeah, this means you have to roll all your rolled dice. A 3. I would like it to be a 4, so I'll use one of these reflex tokens. Actually, I need it to be a 6 because it's not a red. I might need to re-roll it. Yeah, let's do a re-roll. A 4. Okay. So now, because I have a purple die here, +1 to reflex tokens of this type, this reflex token is actually +2. So 4 + 2 is 6, and I'll be able to gain 3 of these tokens, and then 2 of the random ones, which will be insight. Okay. All right, so got 3 dice left. I'm gonna go here again, rolling a purple. A 3. This would be 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'll do that. And then I could take this experience and get a reroll token. Now I have 4, which means I gain this. And that means I gain a green die from the bag. Nice. All right. I'm going to place it here. And I'll roll a green die. A 5. Okay, so I'll spend, actually I get 6 with this ability because it gets +1 for each of my dashboard slots, so +2. Yeah, so I could do this one, gain that 1 experience, and then gain 2 reflex tokens. Okay. And then that ends that round. I'll shuffle these up. I have 5 experience so far. Oops. Okay. Let's see what the new examiner deck card is. All right. So now all die values for green dice are -1, and all reflex token values are +1. Okay. Try to tidy this play area up a little bit. I'll roll the green die. I'll go here, hoping for at least a 4. I could definitely get there with my tokens. So it's going to be a value of 1, and then +2, 3. And then just using one of these is 4. So I get to gain this, and gain a reroll token. Okay. All right, and then I am at 6, so now this skill unlocks. If you roll exactly 1 die, double the result. So I've been rolling just 1 die, basically, the whole time. So now I have these 2 skills available. I like this one. And I'm going to roll this 6. Actually, a 6. I'm going to roll the red die. All right, so I rolled a 4. I'm trying to get to 10. So I have 4, 5, 6. Well, actually, 4 times 2 is 8 already. 8, 9, 10. All right. Thank goodness for that skill. So now I could gain this as experience and then gain 3 of the strengths. Okay. All right. So ran out of dice. So that means I have to take a wound. And I will place a wound. Oh, wait. So this was reroll tokens, actually, right? -2 reroll. Oh, okay. So maybe actually it would have been that. And then let me just remove an extra one. Because what I had done before was I was supposed to remove 3 reflex tokens, but now I removed the 2 rerolls. Sorry for the confusion there. And then I'll get my dice back. I think I have to decide if I want to put dice on my dashboard. I think I'm good. I think I need my dice. All right, so we got these. I'll go ahead and do that and roll a red die. A 1, definitely have to re-roll that. A 5, okay. I could work with that. Because I just need 1 more. Or I could just stick to this and gain experience. Yeah, I think I'll do that. And then gain a re-roll. Yep. All right, so now it's the next round. Okay, so we have this. So we could spend any 3 for any reflex token. All right, and then all dice values are -1. So this actually means that any reflex tokens can qualify to be each other. So all of these are wilds. All right, so let's see how we do. I'm gonna go here and roll a green die. So this needs a 12 or higher, but hopefully if I can double my result. A 1, let's re-roll that. All right, there we go. A 12 on the first roll. Well, it's 5 times 2 is 10, but this one gives me 11, 12. Okay, cool. So it still works out. So I gain this, and then I also get to pay 4 reflex tokens and gain a die from the bag. All right, so I'll do that. Pay 4 or 5? 4. A random die. Let's see. A purple. Okay. Ooh, that's good. I'll do purple. Rolling hopefully a high number. A 1. Oh my gosh. A 1, and then that's gonna be 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5, and then 6 since my tokens could be any color. So I've gotten at least to remove 3 wounds. Okay. All right, we have 4 dice left. I'll do this one, hoping for at least a 10. I'll roll this green. Wait, I have to keep in mind the minus. I think I got covered with that status with that reflex token. Oops. A 3, and then 4, 5. Well, it's actually a 2. So 2, 3, 4. And then the double is 5, 6. So 6. I could do 7. All right, so I'll get a reroll token and then 2 tokens of my choice. I'll do 2 purples. All right, it's a new round. Okay. And this examiner. Okay, I have to reroll if it's 3 or 4. All right, let's see. Go ahead and do this. And I will roll 1 die. No. Sorry, I should go for this one. How much experience do I have? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I have this. Okay. So I would gain a green die. That changes things. Hold up. Let's do that. I need to pay attention to the experience and then 4 of these. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to go here and then I'll roll 2 green dice. All right, so we need that to be a 5, and that should be at least a 5, but the 3 needs to be re-rolled. It's a 4, 5, 6. I think we got it because this will help get this die to at least a 6. All right, so we get 2 extra points here, and then 3 re-roll tokens. Okay, but the last enemy card over there, and then let's count the experience. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, we get our last one, which is that our greens are +1s. All right, so we have only purple dice, but then we'll go ahead and go for that one. And 1, so we roll a 5, that'll be times 2 is 10. And then that's what I needed. So I'll gain this, get 2 reroll tokens and 2 tokens of my choice. 2 purples. Okay. All right, so at this point, there are less than 10 cards in this deck, and in a solo game, there definitely would be. But basically, now that this enemy deck is completed, we go into the final exam. So I'm going to just grab the rulebook here and follow those steps. Discard the current examiner. All right, so let's just put those over. Shuffle the remaining enemy cards and deal 1 to each player. Okay, so these are the remaining. Now deal 1 to myself. See what I get. All right, got this one. And then now it says, the enemy dealt to the player will change up the rules of the fight with their final exam condition in the lower right corner. Okay. So I think it's actually the lower left corner here. And so that one means, let's see, that I can't use dice with a value of 6, I believe. That's what that means. If I'm looking. Yeah, ignore dice of this color that will this number. So for any dice that rolls a 6, I'll have to ignore in the final exam. Perfect. Not really, though. All right, so now it says, deal each player a card from the final exam deck face up. All right. Simultaneously, each player rolls any number of dice and uses reroll tokens, reflex tokens, skills, and abilities to meet or exceed one of the challenges on their final exam card, keeping in mind their final exam conditions. Repeat until each player has challenged 5 final exam cards. If a player gets 4 wounds during the final exam, they are out. Oh, gosh. Okay. So we only have 1 die left. I will be able to double it. So maybe if I could get it up, I might be able to do this one. Wait. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could. What is that icon, though? You know, this is actually the first time I'm getting to the final exam, so I feel a little bit unprepared. All right. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if the left side has anything to do with it, but I think it's just it's referring to the color. Anyway, yeah, I'll roll a purple die and see what I get. I have to ignore 6s, though. Okay, so 4. And then these are each going to be +2. So 2, 4, 6. I only needed, I need 11. 8. But this times 2, right? So it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I just needed 2. Sorry, I had to think that through a little bit. So I completed 1 challenge. All right, the second one. And I need to refresh, so I had to take a wound. Let's do that. I'll go ahead and go here and remove 2 reroll tokens. Refresh all my dice. Okay. And just so you know, you could actually take these dice if you want to roll, but you'll just lose the ability. All right, so I'm going to try to get that 8. I have to ignore sixes though, so I need to re-roll it. A 5, so that's gonna be 10. So I beat that one because I already have this there. So third challenge. Ooh, I'll roll 2 purple dice. All right, so there's a 4, 2. I'll apply that there. I'll apply that there, and we're good. That works. So that's 3 challenges so far. I roll one of my green dice. I think I got this. Let's see. That's gonna be 3 times 2 is 6, 7, 8, 9. So I got that. And then my last challenge. Ooh, okay. Let's do it. I roll these dice. Both are ones. Are you kidding me? Let's see. I have to re-roll both of them. All right, 4 and 4. Perfect. All right, so there's gonna be a 5. There we go. Completed that challenge. And now I gain my license. So that was a solo playthrough of Hunter x Hunter, the 287th exams. Thank you to Kess Entertainment for sending me a copy of this game. My play area got a little bit messy throughout the game, but hopefully you're able to figure out this is a game that you'd like to play. This is a solo cooperative game, so if you're the type that prefers to play multiplayer, the game plays pretty much exactly the same. You just have more cards in the enemy deck. And then when you're choosing which card to choose, which enemy to go for, you do have to choose in player order. So there's that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. This is a really fun dice rolling game. I really like it. It's kind of a bit of a puzzle. Unlocking your skills are really, really important. And then managing your wounds are also very important as well. All right, well, I'm going to end my video here. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for bearing with me while my voice and my sniffles have probably been picked up on the mic. But yeah, I hope you're all doing well. I'll see you next time. Bye.